Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. Second to last week of December, second to last week of 2021. So we're heading like deep into the holiday season. News flow really starts to dry up a bit in terms of like earnings and scheduled events. But there were a couple names and a couple big names, and I mean earnings names in general are still somewhat volatile and things are still moving. So there will be some opportunities, but at this point, fewer, farther between, and it's more of like a waiting game now until January because that's really when earnings season starts to get going again after the calendar switches over to 2022. So Monday before the open, nothing scheduled. After the close, Monday is really like the big day. Micron, so about 16.5 points was priced in. Uh, Good sized chip name. Had a really nice move out of this lower consolidation. It was in a steady downtrend, big break of that downtrend, really nice run. But September earnings were disappointing, so a little bit tougher of a setup, in my opinion. The stock isn't extended, and it does have a pretty consistent history of moving, but a lot of mixed action in semis lately. Some have been falling off their high. At 6.5 points, seems a little elevated to me, especially personally with not a whole lot of conviction on this type of setup. So I might have to hold off, but I mean, Western Digital, WDC, STX, those could potentially move as sympathy plays. So maybe I'll look at those, or maybe even just focus on Micron for like a post-earnings swing. Nike, big one. So about 11 points is what's expected here. It could be interesting. So it's retail's been all over the place recently. Nike's coming off 2 quarters where it moved a lot. So this June move was huge, and then it followed up in September with a miss and had a pretty big move too. So it's come all the way back after that drop in September, but it's also way off its high. So I mean, it's really just kind of in the middle of the last 4 or 5 month trading range. I mean, 11 points options they're not cheap, but at the same time, it has had two really sizable moves the last couple quarters, and if I can get risk down, might be a decent volatility strategy candidate. And it seems like with all the recent movement in retail, this could see a larger swing. For the open on Tuesday, one name, Rite Aid, about $1.85 is what's priced in. CVS, Walgreens, they've been acting better recently, but Rite Aid is just a couple of cents off its 52-week low. It was hit last quarter, and I mean it's been weeks since then. It really just has not been the same class as CVS or Walgreens. It is tempting because again it's been lagging so much, so it's tempting to try like a cheap bull position. But I mean the numbers are going to have to be good, and if they are, then it could see like a decent bounce. But I mean it would be super speculative just because the stock really has not performed well for a while. After the close on Tuesday, Blackberry, it's pricing about $1. It's just earnings have not been the story here. Like similar to GME and AMC, I mean, it's more of like a meme momentum play, and earnings have really not moved the needle a ton. Technically, it doesn't look great, and it's really just not been in play for a little while. So while I don't think the options are particularly expensive, I also don't think it's a particularly compelling setup. Um, and if it is going to move, I feel like there could be an opportunity for me to get involved after earnings, so like not paying up for the actual report. So if I do anything, it's probably going to be after the earnings come out. And then lastly, Wednesday before the open, CarMax. So about 11.5 points, what's priced in. It was hit pretty hard last quarter actually, and it's well off its high after the big rebound. Um, Interesting. It moved almost twice as much what's priced in this quarter. It moved like over 20 last time. It's only priced at 11.5 this time. So it is more interesting because of that. Technically, it doesn't look great, and I would say that like some of the used car names have really started to roll pretty hard. So some of its peers are starting to fall under pressure. And I guess if I were to do anything, it'd probably be low debit contracts, and I might actually focus more on the downside, just because last quarter wasn't wasn't great, and some of its peers are starting to roll. So, but my conviction level is really not high. This could be more of like a game time decision type name. And that's it for the week. After close on none that Wednesday nothing scheduled. Before the open on Thursday nothing, and then on Friday markets are closed in observance of Christmas. So that's it. So a couple big names, a couple big priced in moves, but fewer and far between. So just be patient, and before you know it, earnings season will be here again. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading events or earnings with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Stay well, and I will talk to you all on Monday.